Hi guys, this is Dan from Let's Tank, and today we are going to look at the Protection Warrior on the Alpha. Let's start with the class hall. The Halls of Valor is the class hall theme for the warrior. Odin sits upon his throne to the south. He doesn't really do much currently, which is a shame, but he is involved with the Artifact questline. Let's hope we see a bit more of him in the future. The North Room contains the Eye of Odin, which is your adventuring map, which lets you choose where you can start quest areas from. To the west is your artifact weapon forging and respec area, and to the east is an arena and a few training dummies. Let's have a look at the artifact and the quest to obtain it. The artifact weapon is called the Scale of the Earth Warden, and it gives you the ability called Neltharian's Fury. This is a channeled ability where your shield spits out fire from the front of it, causing conal fire damage and making all your blocks crit. The quest to get the weapon is rather short and easy. Currently, you can't die while doing it. It is extremely similar to the Protection Paladin quest, and it seems to be in the same temple. You start by following an NPC and then killing someone dead till you get to this temple. You then have to kill an imp who summons other little imps, and you chase him around because he teleports. I'm guessing when this is live, the reason for the imps will be to victory rush off them, so you're not going to die because he does hit quite hard and he's a bit of a pain. Once the imp is dead, you enter the temple and need to kill an NPC who has some orbs around him. To get rid of these orbs, you can disable them by just thunderclapping or auto-attacking them. You don't have to put any damage on them, but they do hit like a truck if you don't do this. After that, you kill a few more NPCs, and then the doorway will open after a set amount of time. The NPC will actually channel on the door, it's to the back left, and after a little bit, he'll disable the lightning, and then you can go straight through. After a little bit of talking, the NPC will then activate the boss, which is a tank and spank with a few adds, and once this guy is dead, some RP later, and you'll have your weapon. Let's have a look at the artifact talents. Currently, there are 4 main talent points. These are Neltharian's Fury, which I've already talked about previously. Dragon Scales, which will make blocking an attack give you a chance to generate 3 Dragon Scales, which when hit grants you 30 rage and increase Ignore Pain by an additional 60%. Scales of Earth, make your crit blocks have a chance of increasing your armor by 30% and causing physical damage. And finally, Might of the Valkyrie, or something. While your demo shout is active, the rage from Shield Slam and Revenge is increased by 50%. All these are really nice talents. The smaller talents on the tree consist of increasing your armor, health, and damage of certain abilities, as well as some of your major cooldowns effectiveness. When we are in beta, I will go over the talents more in depth as they are likely to change. The Protection Warrior now has a few new abilities, a few abilities have been taken away, and they've been pruned a little bit. So a really big change to the Prot Warrior at the moment is that barrier has been removed and changed with an ability called Ignore Pain. This costs 40 rage, has a 1-second cooldown, and will reduce the damage taken by 90% for the next X amount of damage you take. This is both with warrior talents and artifact talents. This ability is increasingly strong at the moment, and you can keep a high uptime on it if you manage your rage effectively. I believe that mastering Warrior come Legion will be understanding how this ability works and keeping a good amount of uptime on it. The next new ability is Battle Cry, which is a minute cooldown and increases your crit by 100% for 5 seconds. That's it for new abilities. Charge and Intervene are now one ability instead of 2 separate ones. Spell effect works the same, but it now also reduces magic damage by 30% while the effect is active, so if you're taking AoE damage, this will last the full 5 seconds. However, if you reflect the spell, it will stop the 30% damage reduction. Heroic Strike is no more for Prot. Instead, we have Focus Rage, which is a stacking buff costing 30 rage per stack, which will increase the damage of your next Shield Slam by 9,000 per stack. Shield Block is the same, however, it has a built-in 30% boost to Shield Slam while it is active instead of having this as a talent. So as you can see, there is a lot of stacking abilities that will increase your Shield Slam's damage. A strange change Blizzard implemented is a change to Heroic Leap animation. Instead of the straight line jump, there is more of an arc in it, making the warrior go very high. I'm not sure if I like this new leap or prefer the old one, but that's for you guys to decide. Finally, let's have a look at the Protection Warrior's talents. Tier 1 talents are stunning talents, move far down the tier compared to live right now. The choice is Shockwave, Stormbolt or Warbringer. Tier 2 talents are Second Wind, which is now restore 6% health while out of combat every second after 5 seconds of not taking damage. Inspiring Presence, which grants allies within 60 yards 3% leech, and Double Time, which is an extra charge. Tier 3 are the damage buffs, which include Renewed Fury, which enrages you whenever you use Ignore Pain for 10% damage for 6 seconds. Ultimatum, which make your Shield Slam crits make your Focus Rage cost 0. And Avatar, which is a 1.5 minute cooldown and does 20% damage. Tier 4 talents are Vigilance, Bounding Strike, which is a cooldown reduction and a speed boost on Heroic Leap, and finally Cracking Thunder, which increases size of your Thunderclap by 100%. Tier 5 is a survivability tier, the first being Best Serve Cold, which makes Revenge generate 2 extra rage per target hit. Never Surrender, which makes Ignore Pain's effect increase by up to 100% based on missing health, and Indomitable, which increases match health by 25% and increases the effect of Ignore Pain by 25% as well. Tier 6 talents are Vengeance, which makes Ignore Pain reduce rage cost of the next Focus Rage by 50%, and when you use Focus Rage, Ignore Pain's rage cost is reduced by 50%. Into the Fray, which makes you gain 3% haste for each enemy within 10 yards, a max of 5 enemies, meaning 15% extra haste overall. And finally, Booming Voice, which makes your Demo Shout generate 50 rage and increases your damage by 20%. Tier 7, the final tier, has Anger Management, Heavy Repercussion and Ravager. Anger Management now affects Battlecry, Last Stand and Shield Wall only, however. Heavy Repercussions make Shield Slam extend Shield Block by 1.5 seconds and increase the damage of Shield Slam by an additional 30%. While Shield Block is active. Ravager remains unchanged from live. So my general thoughts are, I really like the diversity of some of the talents, but other talents just don't seem to match the others within this tier. This goes for especially tiers like 4, but we shall see what Blizzard comes up with in the beta. Thanks for watching this quick look at the Protection Warrior on the alpha. I will be doing an update come beta for all the changes. I will also do a more in-depth look at Ignore Pain, with the different talents and how they affect you. Feel free to subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you all on my next video.